from there. Awesome. Well, it's good to see all of you guys. Got some new names and new faces, so welcome. I'll give a little synopsis about what this is and who I am. So my name is Sandy Buheister. I'm a physical therapist, and I'm running out of currently Arcata, California. And this is week 9, I think week 9. So usually I talk a little bit about something, a part of the body, give a little information, show you about something that you can do on your own, and then answer any questions that you guys might have. So I'm gonna get started. If you have any questions, feel free to interrupt and ask. I have no problem with that. Sound like a plan? Awesome. Okay, now let me bring this up too. Cool. So first off, today I want to talk about feet for a number of different reasons, but our feet in this day and age, I'll give you a couple spiels that I have about shoes and about what we're doing to our feet right now. So our feet are our main contact with the floor, but we put them in shoes or some sort of covering or something throughout the day, and that significantly decreases the foot's ability to function the way that it's supposed to. We find in this day and age, people are also, flat feet are not a problem. People think that if you have a flat foot, that somewhere along the way something went wrong and that needs to be fixed. And it's not necessarily a flat foot that is a problem. It's a weak foot that's a problem. And so we are putting our shoes and wearing orthotics that at times when we don't necessarily need to. And that is destroying, we're sort of creating this world of weak feet. And those weak feet are the problem. It's not a flat foot. So with that being said, the type of shoes that we are wearing are either helping or hurting us. And I want us to sort of think about that if we have a weak foot and we put that foot on an unsupported surface when you normally have a support, then that foot is not going to be as strong, and that's going to be painful. So I am a massive proponent of people being barefoot and not wearing shoes as much as possible, but you can't do that straight away. So there's a couple of things that you can do to test and see if your feet are strong and if they're not strong. And then I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do to help with those. So I know all your screens are blocked, and that's totally okay, but I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do to test feet to see if they're strong. So I'm going to actually stand here on this table. So hopefully y'all can see my feet. So in a perfect world, you should be able to pick your big toes up off of the table or the ground. I'm gonna add this person. Sorry, I got some people in the waiting room.
You have cute feet, Sandy.
I tried. But they're all super dirty. Okay, so in a perfect world, we should be able to pick up our big toes and pick up your other toes separate of your big toes. So big toes separate of your other toes. I am not sure if anybody wants to admit if they can't do that, but I see that that's a problem with a lot of people. They don't have good control of their toes. So if they can't pick their toes up, they can't pick their other toes up. The second thing is if you can spread them apart. So you should be able to, independently of each other, can you guys see my? Independently of each other, spread them apart. And you should be able to do that on a flat surface, meaning you shouldn't have to pick them up to spread them apart. You should be able to leave them flat and spread them apart. So that is one thing or two things you should be able to do. And if you can do those, that's awesome. If you can't, I'm going to show you a few things you can do. But I'm going to take that one step further. If you could do all of those things, raise your big toe, raise your other toes independently of each other and splay them apart, that's awesome. Then the final test is this. If you take a washcloth or a towel or take your sock off, you have socks on, you should be able to, let me see. The boys are trying to do this on the fly. Let me bring my table. Okay, you should be able to pick this up to be able to stretch that towel in between mainly under your big toe. And with it held, you should be able to straighten out your ankle and keep that towel underneath those toes. So if you can do all of those, you probably don't have to keep going. You can stop, even though you should pay attention to your feet and what your feet are doing. But that is a little test, a little assessment about how your feet should be able to function. They should be able to pick up big toe and your other toes independently, should be able to splay them apart, and you should be able to grab something under your big toe and straighten out your ankle. So there are some favorite things that I have if you can't do those, and that's what I'll talk about next. So if you can't individually pick up your big toe from your other ones, there are a lot of simple stretches that you can do, and really just doing that, meaning you can bring your or stretch your big toe up and press your other toes down, and you can do vice versa. Or, so that's one just stretch. For every stretch, you should always hold for at least 60 seconds. For the toes, you can probably do 30 seconds and be okay. You should also then try to stretch apart each one. So literally physically pulling your toes apart from each other. And that is also just a good stretch. There are little muscles that are between each foot or each toe. And so we need to be able to spread them apart. We are used to cramming our feet in these tiny shoes. And then when we are barefoot, we expect them to function fine, but they're designed to function with your foot spread apart a little bit. So that is a stretch. You can't move your toes apart. If it was difficult for you to grab that towel and straighten out your ankle a couple of times, you can do that just as an exercise. So grab a towel and then try to straighten it out, and that will build specific muscles in your foot and in your ankle and up the back of your calf. So does that make sense to anybody? Does anybody have any questions about that? I can always give more information or more answer. You know, if people have questions about that, I can go deeper into that. Otherwise, I'll just keep going.
Hey, Sandy, I have a question. It's Melissa.
Yeah. Hi, Melissa.
You've met my feet. So I passed the test. There are definitely some cramping areas. Is toe strengthening, like, will that also help with calf or Achilles pain too?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And let me explain why. So some of the muscles that are responsible for curling up your toes are actually in your calf. They run from the back of your calf down the inside of your ankle to the bottom of your foot. And with that, if those are not active and not used to being used because we wear a good supporting shoe, then those muscles can't function. Therefore, they're going to rely on other muscles around them, and that's when we get a tightness in the calf. So by strengthening the foot, by strengthening the bottom of the foot, you can alleviate some of the tension in the back of the leg, because that's actually where those muscles are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Sometimes like when I'm running, I actually kind of flex or spread my toes now, and it seems like it helps, but I was curious if I was just making that up or
Yeah,
if
no.
there's actually science backing it up.
Yeah, you're not making it up. You're not making it up at all. And that's really how it should be. Your foot should be all spread out and engaged with as much ground as possible. Yeah, no, that's a great question. I'm reading a quick little thing here. Okay, so Angela, hi Angela, good to see you. She had a question. She said x-rays, and she was told that if her sesamoid was my knee, I would need a knee replacement. But because I'm so young, I was told to hold out until the pain got to be too much. That said, she's hurting. So you're talking about sesamoids in your foot, right? You have two little sesamoids underneath your toes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can actually mobilize your, so when people have, well, let me take a step back. So your toe, I'm gonna use my big thumb because that's the closest thing I have to my toe right now. There are two little floating bones that sit right on the bottom of the big toe. And there are some tendons and ligaments that attach to those. They're almost like little kneecaps because the kneecap floats around and doesn't attach to anything like bone to bone. These little sesamoid, and there's the kneecap is a sesamoid bone. So those little sesamoid bones move around. Now, if they can develop like arthritis and cartilage issues, just the same as the knee does, and it's super, super painful. So the best friend to something like that is movement. So you can actually like massage that and move that around. And if you Google that, there's all kinds of stuff out there. I don't usually recommend that, but there's not many people that if they are saying that they can mobilize the sesamoid of the toe, they probably know what they're doing. You usually can't make that up. You can also scrape it with the handle of a butter knife and some coconut oil and get it to loosen up a little bit. And I know it might sound a little bit crazy, but as far as exercises or something you can do to prolong the life of that is those, just getting movement, maybe more passively than actively. And if you want to reach out to me, we can have another conversation about that for sure. Awesome. Any other questions about the feet? Otherwise, so my exciting news. So I launched a new business today, and I was talking with some of you before so I started to record that it's such a weird time to be doing something like this. I feel like the atmosphere of the world is just, it's odd, it's different, it seems weird to be excited about something, but I'm super passionate about what I'm doing, and therefore, and I will support movements and all that stuff, but anyways, I launched a new business today. It is called TELU, and that, I know you signed up for these, and you probably signed up under the Pivotal Connections, but I have to do what I want, I had to create a new business. So that new business is called TELU. TELU is the first two letters of both of my kids' names, Ao and Lucy, so TELU. And it's nice and short. Pivotal Connections was getting to be too much. So what this business is, it's going to be all online products. So right now, I have a foot fixer program that goes through an assessment. There's all kinds of supporting materials. We zero in on what your foot problems are, and then give you the things to be helpful to address those specific issues. So that is all online, and all that information was in the email that you got to get here. So I will be moving forward with this platform under the name TELU. I'm excited about doing all kinds of things. I will be donating a portion of everything that I make to a different organization every probably quarter. Whatever I make, I'll give. We haven't finalized all of the things. I just launched this business today. And so I will have different programs. I have a pelvic floor course already in the works I finished the foot fixer program, and then hand, hip, low back, all those are gonna come soon within the next at least couple of months, if not couple of weeks. So that is my super exciting news for today. So that's all I had planned. Is there anybody that has any questions about anything or any answers that I can give? Hey, Leah.
I don't have any
So-
questions. That's exciting.
Yeah, thank you. I am
Yeah.
excited. I'm super excited.
How long are the courses? Like you said, there's a pelvic floor course, or like, I mean, it's self-paced, but is it X amount of hours or a session?
Yeah, so what we're still working out the details, because the pelvic floor, I want to really make sure we get that right, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. And so there's a lot of people that actually have too tight of a pelvic floor. So we want to make sure we can tease out the people into kind of a couple of different directions that have pain with certain activities, those that have too tight of a pelvic floor, and those that have a weak pelvic floor. So as far as number of hours, I mean, there's an assessment that'll go in with it. Then there's a bank of exercises, and then there'll be some community and some check-in calls and some follow-up. It's not like a one and done. It's not like I'm sending this out into the abyss and you just have to do it on your own. There's like accountability. So, question, Meadow?
No, that's awesome, because I was just thinking about some of the gals that lifted who would be interested in it, and I didn't know if it was like a 12-week, once a week thing, or how it would look.
You can have a group of people start at the same time, but there will be a community part of it, like place to ask questions and answer questions and that sort of thing. So usually, so the foot fixer program is at least 3 weeks, but it runs in 3-week cycles. So the pelvic floor course will be very similar, probably a longer period of time. So yeah.
Is Pivotal Connections no more?
No, Pivotal Connections is exactly as
Okay,
Pivotal
that's what I
Connections
thought.
is. Yeah,
Okay,
it will not change. The online stuff has to be TELU, and the online stuff has to be TELU, and then everything, all my hands-on stuff here, because I'm standing in the clinic, is Pivotal Connections. Yeah, so that won't change. No, nothing will change about me here. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? It was good to see everybody.
Sandy, is there any indication of, or are your therapists are your therapists seeing people in person yet, or
So
not?
I'm a physical therapist, so I was considered essential this whole time. I did take quite a bit of time off, but I'm seeing very few people on a very limited basis, just a couple days a week. But yeah, if you need anything, you let me know. But I am open. I can't take everybody, but there is some wiggle room.
Awesome. I was just curious, like, is massage happening yet? Or?
Massage is still illegal.
Okay.
So are you doing like acute stuff?
So I'm doing acute stuff. I'm doing like, yeah, I mean, if there's a need, I will do it.
Okay.
It's kind of like some people I was doing more of maintenance stuff. I'm seeing like, I woke up and I can't turn my head type people. Because
Gotcha. No, it's good to know.
Yeah, we got to keep up and running as much as possible. So
the next time I hurt myself.
hey now. Well, awesome. I just want to be aware of everybody's time. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me with whatever. You can respond to those emails, and I will continue with these Mondays for a while until there's not a need. So awesome, guys. Great to see you. If you have any other questions, again, please reach out. Have a good Monday. Bye, guys.